Okay, first question I wanted to ask was with the new album, you know, sounding a bit more like the earlier stuff, I mean, at least to me, and bringing in the guests. How do you come up with the idea for the guests? How did you?
Most of them are friends of mine. I had just met Eve recently through a friend of mine, Londell McMillan. And most of the people are friends, and
But how does it get to the point where you say, these are my friends, and I want to have them on my album? How did you, I mean, where do you say, well, they're that good friends that I want to have them on my album?
You heard Maceo Parker play before?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's not an obvious connection, like Gwen Stefani being on your album. I mean, I wouldn't make that connection just, you know, off the bat. Hearing her sing and then...
Well, people are all the same, deep down. And once you get to know somebody, you can always find some sort of commonality. So musicians, pretty much, you just tell them what key to go into, and it just fall right into the language. It's a language we all speak.
Okay.
So how was it with people like Sheryl Crow and Gwen Stefani? Did they just show up at the studio, or like say, show them what key and?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Sheryl Crow is a very talented musician. You know, you say, "Want to put some harmonica on here?" And she says, "Yeah." And she breaks out all her harmonicas. She says, "What key?" I say, "B." And the rest is, you know, very easy.
Okay.
Wow.
Another question I have is, you know, knowing that you have spent months and months in the studio and having come up with some of the most innovating studio techniques over the years, how do you keep it interesting for yourself? I mean, knowing that the technology is going, you know, a lot faster. For example, the stuff that you did back in the 80s with, you know, backwards tape and stuff like that. Nowadays, any kid with a PC in a bedroom could do that stuff.
There's one catch. The kid with the PC in the bedroom can't play his instrument.
Right.
You know, he can make some sounds, and then you can get a vast amount of repetition. But if they didn't take the time to learn their instrument and their scales and to actually speak the language of music, then they can't play with somebody like Sheryl Crow. All they can do is watch.
Okay. But then, and seeing the technology go further and further, how do you keep it interesting for yourself? Do you try out new techniques, or do you just...
Well, technology is always been here in some form. Music, on the other hand, you know, you can always find a new person to learn their instrument properly and then invent something new with it. The technology is just, it's pretty much the same. It's been the same since I first had a drum computer. I mean, it hasn't really changed, you know. You're locked in a certain sort of sound and formation when you're dealing with computers and machines.
It's true.
They're actually very boring. For me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you prefer to like play with musicians, really?
I prefer jamming with Larry Graham, or
can imagine
or
that.
something like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot different.
Okay.
Does it have I mean, I want to go to something totally different. Does it mean something important for you to come back to Holland? Because I know Holland's really important for you, and the crowd here has like always been like mad about you. Coming back here, does that have something special for you, or is it just like?
Every day now is brand new with me since I changed my name, and this album, Raven to the Joy Fantastic, sounds like and feels like my second record. Like it's the second record that I've recorded in freedom, so I'm really excited to bring in my new band. I always have new musicians with me and stuff. I want to bring my new crew here and make some noise.
Could you talk a little bit about that new gained freedom you have? Because I know for a lot of like fans, probably won't understand what happened with the stuff that happened with your old record company, what's happening now. Is it possible to explain it in like for normal people?
Well, when a kid's in his bedroom making music with his friends, it's a lot different than when he goes to sign with a record company and starts recording for an actual company. You know, the music you make with and for your friends is different and feels different than when you're actually doing it for a living. So I wanted to get back to the feeling I had when I first started. And once I changed my name, got out of the contract, and just changed some of the people in my life, then the music gained a new freshness and sound that I haven't felt since I first started.
Knowing that you've had a lot of problems with the industry and seeing the development.
I didn't really have any problems with the industry.
Oh, really?
No, I had problems with contracts. I have problems with working for 20 years and then giving the music away where I have no ownership. That's what I kind of have a problem with. The industry works as it works.
Okay, but there's kind of an evolution going on, or revolution as we can say, with internet and MP3 and all that stuff. Does that mean anything to you? Because I know you released your album through the internet, but do you think that's going to change a lot, or are people still going to just buy records and see it as a phase?
I think they'll. I think people like the interaction of going to record stores and being in society and amongst other people, purchasing music and talking about it. What it has done, though, it has opened up conversations and communications with record company executives and artists. When artists have more freedom to do and release their music the way they want, then record company presidents have to take note of that.
True.
Perhaps loosen up some of these bindings in the contracts.
Right, but you don't see it as something that you would, actually do. Just like do it for free, just put the music out there for free or something.
I haven't considered it.
Okay.
I make a lot of money, and I'm very successful doing it all kinds of different ways. Free to me is, I don't know, that kind of means that your music's not really worth anything. There has to be some sort of interaction, I would suppose.
I get that.
Could you say, talk a bit about the new video? It's going to be released soon. What's it going to be about?
It's going to be about unity. It's kind of a counter to what's going on now with a lot of the unity bashing that happens in the videos. It's a lot of women's body parts and not much of the woman. So this is just me and a woman in a video, and it deals with interaction and unity.
This is the Music Factory.